All right, this is a quick video review of David Koo, the Sabre Museum's special edition Starfall Ascension that he sent to me to be installed. This has been painted slash enameled this Arctic white to look almost like a Stormtrooper kind of look. Second one that I've done like this. I did another individual, but this one is truly a special edition. That being said, I did a removable chassis on this, and as you can see, I mean, you can break it all the way down. The removable chassis is independent of the emitter, so if you do take the emitter off, the chassis is actually accessible right then and there, right there. Very nice retained system that butts right up to that where the emitter stops, and then your blade plug sits right up against it. That being said, I've only got two fonts loaded on this, Power and the Starfall Ascension. I will put your tracks on here as well as the rest of your font load, but let's go ahead and roll. So I left this a little loose right now, but I will tighten this up. As you know, like I said, some of these screws are a little longer. I will trim these down so that they don't. I think I already did on yours, but just as a default, I back them out just to be safe. I also made sure to make sure that this doesn't rattle. This tends to rattle on a few that I did when I first did the install. As noted, and we talked about, David, I did add, and I've done this on the 5 different Ascension hilts I've done. I did add a drilled and tapped a set screw for chassis retention, just to make sure that chassis doesn't go anywhere when you do finally set it in. This being said, this is the chassis that I did. I went with a 3D etched version that truly did depth of field on the laser. It does come at a little bit of a cost of some vertical lines, but given this has a lot of vertical lines in the pattern, really kind of blends in very well, but it's just gorgeous. And weathers well. This is brass, so it is brass, 1mm thick brass with a PLA plus internal chassis. That being said, it's got OLED, 28mm KR speaker. It's got the stock Pixel PCB, or not stock, I'm sorry, Shadowfall Props Pixel PCB as a whole. And let's go ahead and take the chassis out so that you can see it. So just loosen this retention up. Just make sure you always remember to tighten it before you put the threads on so that it doesn't strip your threads. And there you go. So set this off to the side. So here's your chassis. As you can see, there's another chassis that I'm doing for another gentleman, very similarly modeled, but in copper. Both of them look great. If you take a look here, I actually did not really a crystal chamber back here, but at least a chamber that has some brass rods behind it, similar to the Ascension I did for Justin Lee, except for this one I did with backlighting instead of a crystal. And then secondly, I actually centered and split up all these LED arrays into 3 segments, an outside, 2 outsides, and an inside, to basically give kind of bar graph looking, so that you got really good motion and you can change the different colors of the internals. I like doing that because you can make it look like it's hotter, or it's just a slightly off shade for good texture. I did the same thing here inside the Sith logo. I made this yellow so it looks like it's hot on the inside, then red that it's getting, on the outside. And then ultimately you got a crystal chamber that has viewability from 360 degrees outside of the structural pieces that I left in place to just give it an overall solid feel. Taking the battery cover off, it is very strong, I'll just tell you that, because again I used very strong magnets. I don't want any of this coming off for anyone. But overall, your battery, the button goes down, positive down towards the bottom, negative towards the top. Your SD card is very easily accessible here, as you can see. Right now it's only got one font on it, but I will actually put, like I said, the fonts that you asked for. Kill switch right here, nice and hidden, as you can see as you fire it up. Let's go ahead and go to the next font. And you can see the movement in the chassis. You've got a yellow, orangish light that's kind of slowly blending in, and then you've got these reverse. So whatever this one's doing, this is doing the exact opposite. Same thing here, right? And then here, kind of similarly, this is yellow centered with red on the outsides, and then a pulsating flicker here on the crystal chamber. That said, at the end of the day, these can all be configured, as you know. So that's it. Installing it's very simple. Just simply line up the switches with the copper plate, slide it in, validate that it's good.
Power.
Okay, once you do that, just turn it over, tighten your set screw so that the threads are countersunk underneath. Put on your handle and
Ascension.
there you go. So I will load the rest of your fonts up on this special edition, and we will get this over to you in May. All right, sounds great. Thank you.